Hello and welcome to Trend Watch by CompTIA Research, where we give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that in today's technology data. Today's topic, the channel and what they are selling, including where they're making money, revenue, and where they're seeing more profitability. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about some of the results that we've got from our soon-to-be published State of the Channel 2024 research. And it's interesting. I think I'll start with a stat that isn't from CompTIA, but it's from Gartner, who we all know well out there. And they gave their annual numbers on global spending and IT spending. And for the first time, the IT services bucket is at the very top of the big spend globally. It's the increases in spending year over year is projected to be 8.7%. According to Gartner, in that bucket. That bodes very well for the channel. If you think about services going up, typically software has been the number one spending area in the global spending. And the fact that services has eclipsed that is going to mean a lot, not just for those huge system integrators and the Accentures of the world that are out there that obviously do a ton of global consulting and the global services, but all of the rank and file channel firms that have embraced services as part of their business model. They will see benefits downstream. So that's kind of the good news on the what we're selling is some of the changes that we're seeing there in the marketplace across the globe. Now I'm going to drill it down a little bit and talk about the channel itself, and you'll see how this plays out, how services and the prominence of it is playing out in the channel, the more traditional channel itself. One of the questions that we asked on the study is, if you were as a channel company, if you were at a cocktail party or whatever, and you were talking to a group of people, a layperson, somebody who's not in the tech industry at all, and they kind of asked you, what do you do? What do you sell for a living? I know you run a business, but what is it? And we gave them, various choices here. And interestingly, I'll run down the stats for you right now. 38%, which was the top answer here, said that they are the sellers of technology services. That's how they would define their business to a layperson. 35%, so just a little bit less, said that they are the seller of their business is a seller of business solutions that include technology. Okay. And then a lesser number of 27% said they sell technology products. Now, we had asked this same question 10 years ago, the numbers for the sellers of technology products would have been far and away the number one answer that our respondents would have given. That is how most of the channel companies at the time would have identified themselves. We sell tech products. We work with vendors and we sell their products to you, whether that's hardware, networking, software products, whatever it is. Today, seeing so many channel firms identify with services, either it's technology services specifically or taking it to the next level. We sell business solutions. You don't even have the word technology in there, but business solutions that have a technology component. That's a big change, and it reflects a lot of transition that has gone on in the channel. It reflects a lot of changes in the way customers buy things. Customers are often buying products directly from the vendors these days or from some of the online marketplaces, and they're really turning to the channel providers for the expertise around how to use those products, how to implement them, and how to incorporate them into their business outcomes and goals that they're looking to achieve, which takes on more of a consulting type role for the channel. And we're definitely seeing that. We've been mapping it for years now, and we're seeing that transition. And it was really encouraging to see so many companies this year decide to identify themselves really as services firms. Drilling down a little bit more, we asked them, okay, let's get into more of the granular type of business lines that you offer. So what are you offering and what are you making the most money from? Far and away, companies are offering IT solutions. So that's sort of the whole package. It's the services, the multi-vendor solutions that are all packaged together, the products that may go with that, and they're offering that to their customers. That has been a mainstay of the channel for most of its history, after moving away completely from being more of a VAR or a reseller. But beyond that, number two business line is general consulting, whether that's IT consulting, business consulting, or a combination of the two. And we've seen that climb the ladder consistently year over year, is that more channel firms have a big consulting component to what they do. And again, that goes to the prominence of services happening. The third thing is kind of an amalgam of a bunch of other services offerings: data services, cloud services, managed services, all are around the third item that the respondents said was one of the business lines that they offer. So if you notice here, product reselling, products, VARs, that sort of thing is not at the top of the list. In fact, those items, so the business lines around VARs or reselling, that would mostly be around hardware, telecom and networking type of gear, those are at the bottom of the list of business lines. Again, a complete flip from what you would have seen maybe 10 years ago or a little bit longer ago. And that speaks directly to the fact that we are moving into more of a services iteration, more of a services complexion, I would say, for the channel today. So in terms of revenue and profitability, we also asked, okay, think a little bit about those business lines you just told us about. Where are you making the most money or project to in the next 2 years in terms of revenue? And where do you see the largest chunks of profitability? And there's two things that stand out. Cybersecurity definitely makes a lot of sense. The cybersecurity market is only expanding. The complexity and the threat levels are only expanding. And the need for experts out there is greatly increasing as customers sort of panic. They see, everybody is vulnerable to a data breach. Who is going to help us with that? So for channel companies who put in the investment and the resource and use the resources that they have or will invest in to get better at cybersecurity and more skilled at it, that is where a lot of the revenue and profitability opportunity is. The second thing of note that I'll leave you with is revenue and profitability projections for automation and AI are way up. They're not in use so much today. So again, this is an example of a technology that is still in its infancy among many channel firms in terms of its selling, using it internally and also selling it to customers. But the projections for the growth rate and the profitability margin are way up. So channel companies are very optimistic about what they may see in the coming year or two with AI. How big of a piece of that portfolio is what we will be keeping an eye on in the year ahead. So there's a little bit to digest there, but if you want one takeaway here, it's all about services for the year ahead for many in the channel. Thank you.